Hey guys, Steve here with Equinox Tactical Supply. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming back. So today we have kind of like a PSA video for you. Want to make sure that you're aware of some of the issues of these really cool things. But they are cool. We carry them here at Equinox Tactical Supply. We sell a bunch of them. People love them, and they are safe, cool machines to use. I think after you make sure they're safe machines to use. Let me plop down to the bench. We'll show you what I mean. Alright guys, so this is the Flashpoint Industries XM42 light flamethrower, and these things are so cool. They are so much fun to use. I own one. This is actually mine. They come in all kinds of different colors. This one's a limited edition toxic green. There's also a limited edition orange one available right now. But I think they could do a little bit better at the factory when they're making these things. Let me show you what I mean. Everyone that comes through this shop, unfortunately, I don't feel comfortable selling these until I've had a look at them to make sure they're safe. I've taken the liberty of taking the screws out of the bottom already. So, if you have a look here, the battery is stuck to the bottom plate now. They never used to come that way. The LiPo battery, which are known to explode if the cells go bad or if they're not hooked up to the right charger or whatever, was just banging around inside this aluminum case next to a gasoline line. And the control board that you see down here, those never used to be secured in place either when these first came out. Everything was just rattling around in there. They have since started sticking the batteries with some double-sided tape to the lid, but I think, in my opinion, they should be standing up. That's one of the things that we do. We pop it off the original double-sided adhesive tape. We use the 3M command strips. We stick one here. We put the battery in this configuration because it fits in there better. Another thing, I don't know if you can see it, but the fuel line on this one is actually too long, and it actually protrudes past the bottom of the body. There's a flat spot in it where the case had, or the battery door had been pushing on it from the factory. The other thing I want to show you is we are going to take this fuel line, cut a ½ inch off, stick it back on so it sticks up in there where it should. The way they had the battery mounted here and the way that they have the control board mounted, including the fuel line, if you plug this in here, it's going to kink. You have to like push the fuel line out of the way to get the battery to even plug in. You need to put the control board over here, which is one of the things we do. We pop it off, we resecure it over here where it's easy to plug the battery in. And when the battery's standing up on here, it just slides right in there neatly next to the fuel line. Instead of trying to squeeze it in there this way, everything's not in the right place, and it's just not put together well. Now, if you look under the fuel line here, let's see if I can zoom in. You see those connections on those little wires? There's like 3 millimeters of bare wire sticking out of these connections. This black wire over here could very easily move around in this case and arc off of this white one. It's just shoddy, crappy work. These things, like I said, are really cool, fun machines, but I just can't in good conscience let things like this slide out of my shop before I fix it. And that's not my job. My job is to purchase these so that I can resell them to customers that want to have fun with them and use them for all legal purposes. So we're going to do the mods to this one, show you what it looks like when it's done, and then we'll hop back up top. So I decided to actually go ahead and show you exactly what I do when I make the modifications to this thing. One, because if you have one and it needs some stuff done to it, you'll kind of know what you need to do. But I saw this and I wanted to show you. I don't know if you can see these two black wires. These are the two from the power switch. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus. Alright, I had to switch to my phone to get a nice shot of this, but you see those two black wires there? With the broken ones that are almost touching the other ones? Well, those are the two power wires from the switch. this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's careless. There's way too much wire exposed, and the ones that are broken they're nearly touching the others. This is a power circuit, folks. This is the switch on and off. Not good. These ones are far too long. I've already pulled out the white one, but the white one was sticking out just as far as the black one. They could easily get bumped around and touch each other in here. That is not cool. They do, however, stick them into the case now with some double-sided adhesive tape. That is a step above what they used to do. But let's swap over to the GoPro again. Alright, so we've pulled the white one off here. They're way too long. We're going to snip it off, cut about half the wire off, strip off just enough wire for that it's safe, not sticking too much out. Twist it. Get it fed around here so it's not tangled. And then pop it back in our terminal down here. Hold on a second. Boom. Now we'll take out the red one. Cut about half of the length off of that one. Strip it to the proper length. Twist it. And then we'll stick it back in the terminal down here. Sorry, my hands are getting in the way. And then we'll do the black one. Again, we'll cut off about half of this wire. Strip the appropriate amount of sheathing off. Twist the wire so it's a little bit more stiff. And stick it back in the terminal. Now that didn't take very much effort at all. And look at that. They're safe. There's no wire sticking out. There's no way that you could arc something off something else. We're going to do these two rear power switch wires. Again, we're going to cut off about half of this because it's unnecessarily long. Strip off the appropriate amount of wire. Sheathing, rather, off of the wire. Here, let me just pull this one out of the way. Since this one's a switch, it doesn't matter the orientation, left or right. Alright, we'll push that down, stick that in there, and then we'll do the same to this one. Can't quite get the jacket off there. Give her a twist and stick it back in the terminal. Alright, look at how much cleaner that looks already. Not a ton of wire excess. They did a pretty good job with these power wires, so we're not going to mess with those. We're going to cut about an inch off of this fuel line. Alright, now before we stick that back on there, we're going to rip this double-sided tape out of here because it's in the wrong spot. Okay, I buy these things in bulk, unfortunately, because I do this modification to every single one of these that comes through my shop. But we're going to stick this up in there where it's easy to access the plug for the battery. And I like to use the command strips because they're easy to remove later on if you feel the need to do so. So there you have that. Just give it a little bit of pressure. You can tuck these wires down in there. Now they're out of the way. Now we can go ahead and pop our fuel line back on. All right. So we got our electronics mounted. Easy access for the battery plug-in. Let's grab our door. It has a tiny little itty-bitty strip of double-sided tape on there. Take our battery. Stick our command strip on there. Alright, we got our command strip down here on the battery. I got it plugged in. Before we stick it on, I happen to know this because I've done this modification a whole bunch of times already, but if you scribe a line here at 1/2 inch, it's exactly the right spot to stick the battery, so it clears the sidewall right here, and it clears the fuel hose, and there's a little bit of wiggle room in there so you don't bind anything up. So you just stick your battery on there, even with that line. Give it a good press. And then you can tuck your wires in there. Stick this on the bottom. Put your 4 little Allen screws back in. And you're good to go. Fill it up with fuel, turn it on, light your pilot torch, and you are off to the races. Let's go back up top. Alright, so there you have it. It's a pretty quick mod. It honestly takes me like about 5 minutes to do these. When I get one in, I open the box, I tear it apart, fix what needs to be fixed, put it back together, and then it goes back in the box to sell the customer. These things are a ton of fun. They are completely safe to use. Like, I feel once you make these modifications, I've had one for years. This green one is the new one. I have since sold my old one. I had a silver one. They're available in all kinds of different colors, but like I said, this is a limited edition toxic green. There's an orange one available too now. They're fun. They're decently affordable. They're safe. I would recommend if you own one, you just have a look inside yours. Take a good look in there and make sure everything's good to go as far as wire length, arcing problems, stuff like that. If you're good to go, good for you. If you're not, this is something we can do for you. If you want to send yours to us, we can do all your mods. It's pretty easy to do if you have any basic tool skills. Like you saw in the video, it's really not that bad. But I don't feel comfortable selling these until I at least have a look at them to make sure they're good to go. I sell a ton of these. Customers enjoy them. They love them. And that's all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming back to the channel. If you like the content here on the channel, you'd like to support us, think about swinging over to our Patreon page. It's Equinox Tactical Supply on Patreon. Donate $1. It really helps out the channel. And stay tuned for one of the next videos where we take this out and play with it a little bit and have some fun. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that button so you don't miss videos like this and the ones to come in the future. I love you. Until next time.